Hi. This lighting is bizarre, but I had to put something up here because it was just really dark in here, you know? So, it's International Women's Day today, and I'm just gonna jibber jabber at you for a second because I've been thinking a lot, and that's like never a good idea. So I figure if I just word barf it out to you, maybe it'll make sense. So kind of a combination between just it being International Women's Day today and this hashtag that I saw on Twitter the other day. I can't remember what the exact hashtag was because I have a memory like a fish, apparently. But it was essentially the gist of it was, you know, your high school self compared to your current self. When I do that, it just makes me cringe. And not just because it was like a different fashion phase or a different hair phase. Like, those sorts of things I feel like I could never really be embarrassed about because that's what I liked to look like at the time, and that's how I felt. You know, I used to have my nose pierced. I wouldn't do it again, but I thought it was cute at the time. I used to not really wear face makeup. I thought it was cute at the time. I probably wouldn't do it again. I mean, I don't always wear face makeup now, but you know what I mean. I used to, wear full eye makeup and nothing on my face, and it didn't really look the best. I also always used to rock my natural hair color. It was alright, I liked it, and then I went red, and now I have black hair. I prefer the black hair, but, you know, each different phase had a different look, but more importantly, I'm embarrassed to admit that I used to be one of those girls who, you know, I had female friends, but I was never very good to them. They were there, but I never really let them, fall into my heart because I had male friends, and those male friends were, my people. And, you know, I want to just say that I know that everything negative I say about these male friends in this video, it's not towards, it's, you know, hashtag not all men, but these ones specifically, I just, you know, there were a few of them, and when I look back, it just makes me, it's not a reflection of them as much as it is of me, because I'm just mad at myself for it. Because these dudes were, my favorite people. All of them, even the ones I didn't hang out with that much, they meant everything to me. And, I was, unfortunately, one of those girls who was I hang out with boys because there's less drama, ooh woo. No. First of all, there's so much more drama, and they're stupid, so what are you doing? And I look back, and I just think about this 16-year-old Abby, who, you know, she spent all of her time hanging out with dudes and looking for validation through being friends with these dudes. You know, I would convince myself that I was friends with them for this, that, or the other reason, but I know, now looking back, at the end of the day, it was being a girl in a wheelchair. I thought I was so undesirable, and that was what mattered to me, and so by having male friends, it was some kind of validation that I wasn't a six-headed monster, and that maybe there was something about me that was decent, and then I would get butthurt that they, you know, I was just the little sister type to them, and I wasn't anything more, even though there was no real indication that our friendship was ever anything more, you know? I remember just, taking things that they said or did to heart, way too much. They would tell me they didn't like an outfit, and I would throw it out or never wear it again, regardless of how I felt about it. You know, everything they said about how someone looked, I would try to, fit it, just thinking, you know, this is how men want you to look, and that's how I should look. And doing my makeup however I thought they wanted, and, you know, altering my personality, if you will, to fit what I thought men wanted of me, because that's what I was surrounding myself with. And even though I had female friends, my female friendships were not as intense or as meaningful as they could have been, because I didn't allow them to be, because, well, it doesn't matter if girls like me, it only matters if boys like me, which is fucking dumb, but that's how stupid 16-year-old Abby functioned. And one of the things that bothers me now in hindsight is I would let these men do things like shove my chair off while I'm driving, or say things the reason that I'm so comfortable, I guess you could turn this as a positive if you want to, but one of the reasons that I'm so comfortable with people making fun of my disability or whatever now is because I just let it happen for years. Without my consent, really, I was always picked on for my wheelchair from these dudes, and they thought it was a loving teasing, but I had never really experienced that before. And so I just kind of accepted it, even though for the longest time it, wasn't really okay with me. And there were certain things here or there that they would say or do that I just felt really could dehumanize me and turn me into some sort of RoboCop. And, the positive of that is, I guess, now, doing the YouTube thing and working in radio, now people will say whatever they want, and I don't really It doesn't upset me because I'm used to it from people I cared about in that sense. That's so emo, but you know what I mean. But, the reality of the situation is I should have shut it down back then, and I didn't. But now if you want to fast forward to today, my life is significantly better in the sense that my mental health is better. I'm freer to be myself. I'm freer to wear whatever makeup I want to wear, whatever outfit, experiment with my clothes and my hair, I'm the kind of girl now who just has jack-o'-lanterns up all the time because I just like them. I used to hide my cosplay stuff when I first got into it because those dudes thought it was weird. Heck, the reason I have a Sailor Moon blog is because they told me whenever I blogged Sailor Moon on my main blog that it was annoying. And I even had specifically at that point, kept the Sailor Moon posts to a minimum so that I wouldn't be annoying. And they still told me it was annoying, and that's why I created the second blog. And nowadays, I would just be like, well, fuck you, then unfollow me, The reason I'm able to share pictures of me cosplayed as Xena and wear baggy sweaters to work if I want to one day and then wear a nice dress the next day and wear hardly any makeup today and a full face tomorrow. The reason that I'm comfortable enough to kind of do and be the person that I want to be is because of the support of the women in my life. And I'm going to say even around my life. I have so many real, not fictional, real women positive influences on me now that I am able to be, I'm still kind of a bitch, but I'm able to be a nicer person in my heart and feel better about things and be more supportive and be more positive and just not be so angry all the time because I have a core group of women who will support me and be my friends no matter what. Many of them you've seen on this channel. I know Bonnie, who is my boss, has been on this channel before. Not necessarily with her consent, but she's been in the background of a couple things here and there. Shelby, you've seen many times. I adore Shelby with my whole heart. Sherry, my friend Katie. My sisters, of course, but they kind of don't count because they're my sisters, so I've known them my whole life regardless. And then Sarah, who I adore. She's younger than me, so it's really fun because I'm glad that she gets to know this Abby and not that other Abby because I will just, always tell her to do what she wants to do and just be her best, live her best life at all times. And I would rather be that kind of role model for her, if you will, than the person that I was before. And then there's there's a couple of local female politicians and female just women in the community that I look up to a lot and that I get to talk to because I work in radio and that I lurk on social media. And it's just, I feel like everything in my life has gone so much better because rather than having that subtle low-key misogyny that I used to suffer with, unfortunately, like a bum, I'm able to accept and embrace these women and support them and share stories. And it's just such a more meaningful thing, it means the whole world to me to have these women who I get to watch succeed, especially in historically male-dominated fields, and know that whatever I do, I have their support behind me as well, as much as I, support them as well. And I feel so mushy thinking about it because I wish I could go back in time and tell 16-year-old Abby that she has the entire world backwards. And it's not that I didn't have girls around me that would have supported me and would have been those women. It's that I actively rejected it in favor of the story of my life was that old cliche of no, you get married, you have babies, you whatever. And there's so much more that it could be. And it was I didn't even notice and I didn't even have goals and I just had this really weird path that I had put myself down. And it was baloney. And I'm glad that I am not in that path anymore and that I have a real career and stuff I can do. And yeah, editing this video back right now, I just realized that I forgot to mention an integral piece of the story. Because it wasn't just that I held these dudes and my desirability, if you will, to men in such high regard. It was that I actually did actively put down and dislike other women. Specifically because I was under this bizarre impression that there could only ever be one spot at the table for a female. I mentioned this before on my channel, but, it seemed like if there was an executive board, there was only a token female spot. And that sort of thing. So it was like any woman that I saw succeeding in whatever she was doing or being good at something, I automatically didn't like her. because I was jealous, because I wanted to be better, and I wanted to be good at that. You know, I guess part of the benefit of getting older and getting wiser is realizing that that's not the case at all. What we should be doing is just making more seats at the table, and we are so much more powerful and so much better at everything when women work together and we support one another. And it is through, supporting other women and mentoring other women and putting them up that we, help women progress rather than just focusing on ourselves as individuals. And that's really where great change happens. And I'm so mad at little me for not understanding that. There are so many girls that I look back and I think we could have been really great friends. We had a lot of similar interests. We had a lot of, there was a lot of things that we could have bonded over, but instead I wasted all that time hating you because you were good at something I wasn't good at. It makes me a little bit frustrated. So yeah, anyway, I'm done being mushy. Happy International Women's Day to all of my fabulous women out there who watch my channel, who do whatever they can do, find a girl, help her out if she needs it. And to all my non-women out there who watch my channel, I have noticed that there is a surprising amount of men who watch my channel as well. Do your best to be a good ally. It was my fault that I put the weight on those boys that I did. That's not their fault. That's my fault. I had to take responsibility for that. But do your best to be as supportive as you can and, support and guide your female friends in the life that they choose. And don't put them down or make fun of their disabilities or their outfits. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!